Good morning, I'm Andrea. Welcome to our yin class. Today our focus is going to be on our upper back and spine. So let's begin with doing some stomach circles. Start counterclockwise. So we're going to start to warm up the spine from low to high. Inhale front, exhale round back. And reverse direction. So if you find the fall weather challenging at all, or moving into winter challenging for your body, there are a bunch of different things you can do to help yourself feel better throughout that seasonal transition. And one thing that I do pretty regularly is when I first get up in the morning, I do the oil pulling. So that's about a tablespoon of oil in your mouth, and you just swish it around for like 10 minutes. It could be longer too, 10 or 20 minutes. And then be sure when you spit that out that, you're not sending it down the sink or your pipes. Um, yeah, keep note of that. And also, the next thing I do is I drink hot water with a little bit of ghee in it. So it doesn't have to be a lot of ghee, a half teaspoon. And that just really helps lubricate our innards, our organs, our tissues. And we need more of that at this time of year because it's very dry. It has started raining where I live, but typically it really doesn't even rain that much by this time. And there's just a dryness factor. Just like the trees have all lost their leaves, the leaves dried up and fell off, we have a dryness factor happening too. And then, of course, in addition to that, you could do a abhyanga type self massage or a bath with oil in it, so that you also address the external organ, the skin. Okay, and to the center now. You can put your hands on your shins, and as you inhale, pull your chest through, so it's like a seated cat-cow, except our head doesn't move like we do in cat-cow. So the head just stays more neutral, and you can start nice and slow, and maybe speed up once you feel like you're getting a little more loosened up. Inhale forward, exhale back. This is actually our typical Kundalini warm-up, but I love it so much that I do it in a lot of my classes, whether they're Kundalini or not. Just getting that spine lubricated, flexible for total body health. We need our spine to be flexible. Inhale, hold the breath in, stretch the spine straight. exhale, relax. Ah. So after any kind of exercise, your body might just want to release a little something. And it could come out as a heavy sigh or a yawn or a burp. Or you might want to shake it out a little bit. And our next warm up for our spine is hands on the shoulders, perched on the shoulders, fingers in front, thumbs in the back. As you inhale, rotate left, exhale to the right. Let your head come with you and stay balanced between your arms, shoulders. Sit up nice and tall through this. Kind of feel your shoulder blades reaching toward each other. And relax back to center. Okay, and our next exercise is, again, we've been working from low to high now. So we're going to bring the energy upward with our shoulder shrugs. As we shrug up, we inhale. As we exhale, we just let it drop, both sides. And on the up, hold the breath in. Next inhale, hold it in and up. Stretch the spine straight. Slightly tuck the chin. Eyes are closed. Gaze up and in at the third eye. Exhale and relax. And now we'll just do a little bit of neck circles, and we're not going to do it all the way around. So slowly, gently drop your chin toward your collarbone, breathing, exhaling, and begin to continue inhaling and exhaling, and let your left ear come over toward the left shoulder. And then drop back down. Right ear toward the right shoulder. And on this one, you can think about looking upward so that you can really feel that your face is coming upward and your ear comes closer to your shoulder. And that's as far back as many people will want to take it. And so that's what I'm teaching now, so that we don't overdo it for anybody, but just do that kind of a U shape, side to side. Okay, so we're going to get ready for our first yin posture, and that is bow tie. So on your mat, length of your mat, you're going to stretch out on your belly. And we'll do both sides, but you're going to start with bringing the right hand under the other arm, stretch it out, and work your way down toward the floor. But remember, you have to also bring your other arm around. So somewhere between being up tall on that right elbow to the hand, bring your left arm over the top so they're crisscrossing. That's actually another name of this posture, is crisscross. And oh, I forgot to tell you, you might want to have a block handy for your head. And it could be on any height. It could be on the higher height where you rest your forehead, or the medium, or I should say medium or low. Or no block. You could put your forehead on the mat, and I'll just show you, and then I'll turn some music on. So really stretch your arms out to the opposite side. Not getting any music for some reason. Let's see. So just keep the breath going. I'm going to work on the music for a minute. Interesting. Can't get it to even start. Oh, there we go. So you could actually have this posture such that there's a pressure on your throat, and that's okay. Just don't cut off your air passage. But maybe you're not set up to feel it in the throat, so we're all different. Just see where you can feel the pressure of the crisscross and lean into it a little. The crisscross could also be across your upper chest, so it just really depends on what's working for you. That's another good place to have a little pressure, because you may dislodge something that's been stored in your heart chakra, or if it's closer to the throat, you may balance your throat chakra. And potentially you can keep adjusting your arms even further to each side, stretching a little further. So to come out of it, start to lift your head and squeeze your buttocks and your pelvis, pressing into the floor at the pelvic region. Help yourself come up so that you can uncross your arms. And come up onto your knees and really all fours. Just for a little bit of a rest in between the two sides. You can do a little cat-cow. So that is where your belly drops toward the floor as your head comes up as you inhale. And then on the exhale, drop your head and round your spine. Okay, now come down to the other side. So other arm on top, doing the crisscross. I feel like I didn't switch. I'm not even sure now. I actually like to have the pressure come onto the chest and the throat area because if you have any kind of congestion in there, this will help move it. So it may cause you to cough a little bit, and that's all okay. Take it a little bit deeper. And just be sure that you're breathing comfortably. Letting the exhale be a little bit longer than the inhale. So I didn't want to cough too much, so I came out of it a little bit for you guys. When you're ready to come out, do it the same way where you squeeze your buttocks, press your pelvis and your legs into the mat. Help yourself come up a little bit and uncross. And then on the next exhale, push yourself up into all fours. And a little bit of cat-cow here. Now come back down onto your belly. You can have your upper body resting on your elbows and your forearms. Hands are in front. So this is Sphinx pose. And what we're doing is lifting our upper body up, and think about pulling yourself forward by pressing your elbows and hands into the mat. Sometimes I even hold on to the front. Not that it's gonna keep me held up, but it just gives me something to, well, if you hold on to it, it'll help you at some point maybe lift up, but that may not be the case for you. And your elbows, if it's too much pressure, your elbows can go out a little wider than your hands. If it's not enough pressure, you can bring your elbows closer to each other and still have that forward pull. It's like you're trying to pull your body forward toward your shoulders. And your head is up, but do tuck your chin a little bit. And let there be a nice long inhale and exhale. Let the exhale be a little longer than the inhale. Squeeze into your buttocks. Continue having that pressure down in your buttocks, your upper legs, your hip area, and continue to pull yourself. So it's like your hips are trying to keep you where you are, but your arms are trying to pull you forward. The more upward you go, the more you may have to tuck your chin a little, because we're not looking up. Bring that chin down a little bit. Lengthen your head away from your shoulders. And as you continue to breathe, begin to lower yourself down for a moment of relaxation. So it could be your arms by your sides and your left cheek is on the mat.
Now inhale big into your belly, and on the exhale, push yourself up onto all fours. We're going to come down into melting heart. So your elbows come down. Keep your hips above your knees. So you're not forward, you're not back there. Hips are pretty much right above. Okay, so I'm going to show you one way to do it. So you can be on your elbows and have your hands together and up. You may have to space yourself a little differently, but this way you can bring your chest toward the mat. And maybe your forehead can even rest on the mat. So that's one way to do it. Another way is to have your hands more out in front, keeping the hips above the knees. Extend the hands out. Again, here's where you might hold on to the top of the mat so you don't slip past it. Or it'll help you when you're trying to get back up. And again, bringing your chest toward the mat and placing your forehead or your chin on the mat. If the area under your armpits starts to tingle a lot, you want to come out of it a little bit, so you might try the other pose or something different. Go ahead and lower your arms down and find your way back up to all fours. You could rest also, either just in easy pose, cross-legged pose, or sitting on your heels. You do want to have that little rest period in between each yin posture, because we hold it for so long, kind of stressing it for a long time, and we need to give it time to process all that energy. Energy seems to be gathered while we're in those postures at the area of the stress that we're applying
And then when we come out of it, it can just like flow. Okay, so let's come back down onto our belly. And take your, I'll show you with my left arm because you can see it better. Have your arm kind of at a right angle so that your elbow is lined up with your shoulder and your hand is lined up with your elbow. So a nice right angle. With the other side, you're going to push up to the left. So I've got my right arm down. Doesn't really matter which one you start with, but I'm actually going to switch arms. I just wanted to show you that to start with. And so inhale. And on the exhale, begin to roll yourself to the side so that arm is still in a right angle behind you. And you can bend your knees and have them help support you. You can take your other arm and either have it on your hip or let it drape behind you, or you can just use it like a kickstand to hold you in this posture. And you might want to use a block for your head, possible. I think I prefer no block. So you're really opening up that arm that's on the floor in the right angle, that whole shoulder complex, and coming into the pectoralis muscles, the front of the chest. So while it seems like we're resting, we're actually in active postures. So we may be pushing into that hand, that's active. Even if it's up here, you can feel your shoulder blades coming together. Let that be active. Your legs are holding you up. And we want to go about 75% into our full range of stretch. So we give ourselves about 25% leeway so as not to overdo it for ourselves. On your next exhale, roll yourself back to center on your belly. Allow that arm that was really doing a lot of the work to, well, they were both working.
So the one that was really being stretched, allow that one to rest down by your side. You don't have to move on your mat. I'm just doing it so I can continue to see the camera in case something goes wrong. So just get yourself set up to do the other side. Starting from your belly. Let's see, I need to move my mat a little bit, maybe a lot for a few minutes, just so I can get my arm out there. Try adjusting it so you can go a little deeper into it, one way or another. Even just a smidge. And very slowly allow yourself to come out of it and rest, perhaps with your arms by your sides. And then go ahead and come up to a seated posture.
sometimes these postures, because we're releasing, we're finding pockets of energy that have been stuck for a long time. As that energy is released and comes out, it can cause different sensations in our body, in addition to just like tingling or something like that. So you might even get dizzy or feel nauseous, or who knows what. Could feel like you're going to cough. Could feel a channel of energy coming out. I've had that happen multiple times. When it first time it happens, you're like, whoa, what's happening here? Okay, so we're going to do another upper body twist. And twists are great. They're so good for emotional releases and healing. That doesn't mean you're necessarily going to cry, but some people do sometimes when that energy is released. But again, an emotional release can still feel like a dizziness or a nauseousness or whatever. And it just kind of shows you what's healing, what part of your body is healing. Okay, so this one is thread the needle. So come up onto all fours again. And I'm going to start with my left hand. Again, I'm going to be facing the camera. That's the only reason. Threading through under the right arm and lowering down so that you're resting on that left shoulder and head, left side of the head. So I don't know if you can see, but my left hand is straight out to the side and even pushing into the mat with the back of my hand and the back of my arm. So this other arm can be still be, because remember we started with it in front, can still be in front of you. So you can stretch it out in front of you. Okay, so this could be enough. There is a more expanded version of thread the needle where you raise your leg up and your arm, but we're really just going for the stretch of the upper body right now. And again, if that armpit, especially the one that's sticking out over your head, if it starts to get tingly, that's not a great sign for the nerve complex that comes down, from the shoulder area. So, and mine do that a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to move my arm onto my hip. Bring the right hand back down to the floor, kind of near your face. And before you move much more, inhale. On the exhale, push into that right hand
Allow that left arm to come up toward the ceiling. And back down to all fours. Or sit back on your heels. A little shake out. And I'm going to turn around again so I can face the camera. And back up to all fours. We didn't really start this way last time, but let's do it. So on the inhale, raise your right arm up to the right. And on the exhale, thread that arm down through under the left. Rest on your shoulder, your arm, the back of your arm, and your head. And again, your hips are still pretty much above your knees. So you can just hold it here with your left arm in a kickstand, kind of bent elbow kickstand support, or you can have it up above your head. You don't have to do the exact same thing on each side because your body is different on each side. So it may feel better to have your left arm in one place versus the other, depending on what side you're on. Try to sink your body into the mat. Relax as many muscles as you can. Just the ones in use cannot fully relax. Okay, to come out of it, inhale first. As you exhale, push up with the left arm. Allow the right arm to come around and up, reaching for the ceiling and then back down. And our last posture requires blocks. So if you don't have blocks, just do Shavasana at this time. So you want to have a block behind your spine, your upper spine, and then one under your head to support your head. And our legs will be in butterfly pose, so the soles of your feet will be together once we rest into the posture. So you might need to adjust the blocks a little bit. And then when you feel balanced, go ahead and let your feet touch on the soles together and let your knees drop out. Your heels do not have to be right next to your pelvis. If you need a little bit more of a stretch, You could try having your head block be lower than your behind the spine block. That'll give you more of an arch. You don't have to. Or if you're not on blocks, you could also have your legs in the butterfly posture rather than just shavasana. You could always use a towel or something rolled up under your spine, just something to raise your spine up a little bit. And while you're in this posture, let's do some central channel breathing. We haven't really talked about it today, but I've talked about it many times before. We're going to breathe up and down our body. So imagine bringing the breath in from above your head, say from 4 feet above your head, meaning behind your head since we're laying down. Bring the breath in toward the top of the head, through the head, the neck, the chest. Breathe into the lower belly. And maybe the upper belly. But don't worry about filling your chest on this breath. And then the exhale, send it down your legs and out the feet. And imagine that that goes into the earth. And then on the inhale, you're breathing up the legs, bringing in earth energy, which we live in, to the lower belly with that breath. And exhale up the spine and out the top of the head. Extend it past the head by several feet. And continue doing that central channel breathing up and down at your own pace. Always filling the belly on the inhale. On your next inhale, since you're still doing that breath, once you're fully inhaled, squeeze your muscles of your hips, your legs, your hands, your shoulders, holding that breath for a moment. Squeezing all your muscles, your face, your shoulders. And relax and exhale and allow that breath again to continue on its direction, whatever direction it was going, up or down. And again, on the next inhale, do the same thing, and we'll do that 2 more times on the inhale. So to come out of this, you might want to help your legs up a little bit with your hands. And however you need to come off of your blocks, you might need to roll to the side. Maybe you can wedge your elbows under there and help your back come up off the blocks. And we're going to come to a seated position, easy pose. And we'll just do our
our sign off at the end of the class here. So hands at the heart center in prayer pose, thumbs pressing into the sternum. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose as you bow your head toward your fingertips. Namaste. Thank you for joining the class today. Some of you are in person, some on the recordings. Please like my video and subscribe. I would appreciate it.